Hey everybody, it's me Joe, and I want to welcome you back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to tell you a joke. All right? I think everybody needs a good laugh now and then, so I'm going to tell you a funny joke, and then at the end of the joke, it takes a few minutes. At the end of the joke, I have some listening questions, all right, to see if you heard the joke, understood the joke. And after that, I'm going to teach you some vocabulary that was in the joke. All right? So there's many parts to this video. I want you to watch the whole thing. There's going to be a joke, there's going to be listening questions, and there's going to be vocabulary questions at the end. All right? So I want you to watch the whole thing. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell down below. Okay? All right, here is the joke. So there was this woman, and she was driving in her car along the highway, and she was driving too fast. She was speeding, okay? Then a police car saw her and pulled up behind her with the lights on, woo, woo, and pulled her over to the side of the road, asked her to stop. Then the police officer got out of his car and walked up to her. She's still sitting down in her car, and he walks up beside her and he says, "And hello, ma'am." And the old lady says, "Hello, officer. Ma'am, did you know you were speeding?" "Oh my goodness, was I? I didn't know that." I said, "Ma'am, I'm going to have to see your license." Okay. So then the woman said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have a license." And the police officer looked a little confused. "What do you mean you don't have a license?" "Well, I had one, but I lost it because I was drunk driving many times." Okay? So I was out drunk driving. They caught me many, many times, so I lost my license. And the officer is very surprised. He says, "Oh, okay, all right. Can I have the vehicle registration, please?" And the woman said, "I don't have that either. I'm sorry, officer." "You don't have registration to prove this is your car?" And she said, "No, it's not my car. I stole this car." "You stole this car?" Yes, officer. I stole this car and I killed the owner and I cut up his body and I put it in plastic bags carefully and they're in the trunk of the car. Do you want to see?" And the officer is then looking at her like, "Whoa, what's wrong with this lady?" And he backs away slowly back to his police car, and he gets on the radio and he calls for backup. He needs more. This old lady is not just an old lady. She's a dangerous murderer. She just admitted. So he needs backup. He needs more police officers. So, "Hello, chief, send me more police cars. I need this. We're on the highway. Come find me." And the other police cars show up in a few minutes, and they're all sirens going, "Yoo, yoo." So then the first police officer explains the situation to a more superior officer, all right? And the second officer, he says, "Okay, I'll handle it." He walks up to the car, but his gun in his holster, he's got his gun half drawn. So that means it's pulled out a little bit. So he's ready. And he says, "Hello there, ma'am." And she says, "Hi, officer. Is there anything wrong?" And the guy said, "Ma'am, I'm going to have to get you to step out of the vehicle." And she says, "Certainly." So she gets out of the vehicle. And the officer's still there looking at her, a little confused because she looks like a little old harmless lady, right? Couldn't hurt anybody. "I heard from my officer that you stole this car." And she said, "Stole the car? No. Here's the registration right here." And she hands him over a piece of paper. It's the registration. It's totally fine. "Can I see your driver's license?" "Certainly, officer." And she pulls it out of her purse and hands it. And it's her, little old lady. And he's looking back at the other police officers and he's looking. "I'm sorry, ma'am. Another officer, he told me that you had murdered the owner of this car and put him in the trunk? Murdered the owner? Oh my God, no. And, well, can you open the trunk, please? Certainly, officer. So she goes around, she unlocks the trunk and opens it. It's just a totally empty, clean trunk. There's nothing in there. And then the first officer kind of takes his hand off his gun now. He's more relaxed, and he's scratching his head, and he's, well, did you say that my officer stopped you and said you didn't have a driver's license, you lost it because of drinking and driving, you stole this car, and you killed the owner? Didn't you say those things? I'm very puzzled. And then the old lady said, oh my God, no. He probably told you I was speeding too. What a liar. All right. So that's the whole joke. All right. Now, if you get it, great. That's wonderful. If you don't get it, I'm going to explain some listening now, listening questions. You'll understand the joke more, and the vocabulary to understand the joke even more. All right. So stay tuned and watch those parts now. All right. So here are the questions. Number 1, why was the lady pulled over? Number 2, why didn't she have a license? Number 3, what did she say she did with the car owner? And number 4, last one, what name did she call the first officer? All right. Now I'm going to go on and tell you the answers. So if you don't want to hear the answers yet, pause the video. All right, here are the answers. Number 1, why was the lady pulled over? She was speeding. All right. Number 2, why didn't she have a license? She lost it for drunk driving. Number 3, what did she say she did with the car owner? She said she killed him, cut him up, and put him in the trunk. And number 4, what name did she call the first officer? She called him a liar. Okay? So now let's move on to the vocabulary. Okay, so here are some words from the joke that maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but I'll say the words and I want you to try and think of definitions. So the first word is speeding. The next one is pulled over. Next, drunk driving. The next one, vehicle registration. Next, backup. Next, half drawn. And the last word is puzzled. All right? Can you think of definitions of those words? All right? The next slide, the next picture, I'm going to show you definitions. So if you want some time to think about it, pause the video before I show you the answers. Okay, here are the definitions. So the first one, speeding, that just means driving too fast, driving over the posted speed limit. Number 2 is pulled over. That means you're told to stop by the police. So they'll tell you to pull your car over to the side of the road and stop. Number 3, drunk driving. That means driving while you are drunk. You are under the influence of alcohol. Next one, vehicle registration. That means official proof of car ownership. Usually it's a document from the government. Backup. If you call for backup, that means you want other people to support you. Half drawn. So that means a gun is pulled out halfway out of its holster, so you're almost ready to shoot. And the last word was puzzled, and that means confused. All right? So this whole joke, in case you didn't know, this whole joke, the old lady gets pulled over by the police for speeding. So she starts lying and saying crazy things. The cop calls for backup, other officers to come, and then when they show up, she pretends she doesn't know what the first cop is talking about. She didn't kill anybody. She didn't steal any car. She was never a drunk driver. And this way, she can make it sound like the first cop, is the crazy one, and he lied when he said she was speeding. This is her just trying to get out of a speeding ticket in a very crazy way. So, don't trust old women. All right. I hope you enjoyed the joke. I hope you tell it to your friends too. If you have any questions about the questions, the joke, or the vocabulary, ask me a question in the comments below. I will certainly write back to you. And if you stick around now, there's more links to other funny stories that can help you practice your listening coming up. The links, I'm going to post them here around my handsome head. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you keep learning. All right? That's it for now. Bye-bye.